Your message for Americans who are concerned about the impact of things such as tariffs on prices?
I'm not going to stand up here and lie to you like my predecessor did about the state of our economy.
When we look at how strong the economy is, it's because of the president's work.
We understand there are people that are hurting. I can assure the American people that the president is very much focused on bringing down the cost of living crisis in this country that was created by the previous administration.
I don't have anything. 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 I just don't have anything. I don't have anything. We don't have anything. I just don't have anything. Don't have anything. So I don't have anything. 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 I just don't have.
Karine Jean-Pierre had one job: answer questions. Sounds simple, right? Not if you're known for rambling answers, awkward pauses, and flipping through a binder like it's your first time seeing it. Then along comes Caroline Leavitt stepping in and completely flipping the script. No nonsense, no hesitation, just direct answers delivered with confidence. When she took the podium, it wasn't just an improvement. It felt like a complete reset. Get ready, because we're about to watch Caroline Leavitt go head-to-head with Karine Jean-Pierre in real time. But before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications if you haven't already. Now let's get into it.
So if you think about the 737,000.
Karine Jean-Pierre's time as White House press secretary was widely criticized, often marked by hesitant responses and unclear messaging that left many frustrated. Then fast forward to Caroline Leavitt, and suddenly the briefing room feels entirely different. More direct, more structured, more focused. If you don't believe it, just compare their early performances. The contrast is hard to ignore. First, let's take a look at Karine Jean-Pierre.
I just want to say a few words about how honored I am to be here with all of you today in this role, in this room, standing behind this podium. I am obviously acutely aware that my presence at this podium represents a few firsts. I am a Black gay immigrant woman, the first of all three of those to hold this position. I would not be here today if it were not for generations of barrier-breaking people before me. I stand on their shoulders. If it were not for generations of barrier-breaking people before me, I would not be here.
You can already feel the awkwardness hanging over the podium as Karine steps up for her first speech. But that's not even the worst.
From the moment she steps up, there's a noticeable tension in the room. It feels uncomfortable, and the delivery lacks confidence. Eye contact is limited, and the messaging doesn't always land clearly. At times, the focus shifts toward personal milestones rather than the substance of the role itself. Critics argue that this approach distracts from the primary responsibility, communicating clearly and effectively with the press. Now, let's compare that with Caroline Leavitt stepping in on day one.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are we? Good to see all of you. It's an honor to be here with all of you. A lot of familiar faces in the room, a lot of new faces. And President Trump is back, and the golden age of America has most definitely begun. The Senate has already confirmed 5 of President Trump's exceptional cabinet nominees: Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. It is imperative that the Senate continues to confirm the remainder of the president's well-qualified nominees as quickly as possible.
Caroline Leavitt brings a completely different presence. The moment she approaches the podium, the tone in the room shifts. There's clarity, composure, and a sense of control. Instead of focusing on personal narratives, she moves straight into policy and messaging. Her delivery is direct, structured, and confident. Reporters, accustomed to a different style, appear caught off guard, but Leavitt stays composed, answering questions without hesitation and maintaining command of the room throughout.
This is not the norm. The norm is we do get an opportunity to ask the questions to the president about domestic and foreign policy issues in a formal setting at some point. And you choose that point, but we haven't had that opportunity in quite some time.
So I'll say this. It is also unprecedented that a president takes as many shouted questions as this president has. And he has.
I know the last administration, I'll tell you, almost every day I'll just
Okay, well, we'll certainly get the data and share that with all of you. I hear, John, I hear your question, I heard Zeke's question,
I hear you. I hear you on the press conference, on a formal press conference.
And faced with a straightforward question, the expectation is a clear answer. But instead, Jean-Pierre often pivoted away from the topic, redirecting attention to broader talking points. Rather than addressing the question directly, responses sometimes leaned on general statements that didn't fully resolve the issue. This led to visible frustration among reporters who were looking for clarity but often received partial answers instead. Now compare that to how Caroline Leavitt handles similar moments.
100 arrests ICE has made so far since President Trump came back into office. Can you just tell us the numbers? How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals as far as this administration goes. I know the last administration didn't see it that way, so it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks our immigration laws as a criminal, but that's exactly what they are.
Leavitt takes a different approach. She listens, responds directly, and keeps her answers concise. There's no visible hesitation or reliance on notes. Instead, she maintains eye contact and delivers responses with precision. This style leaves little room for confusion and shifts the dynamic of the briefing entirely. The press, used to longer and less direct responses, now has to adapt to a faster, more assertive exchange.
White House official made the decision to bar the AP reporter from the Oval Office and the diplomatic reception room last night.
Well, first of all, let me just set the record straight. It is a privilege to cover this White House. It's a privilege to be the White House press secretary. And nobody has the right to go into the Oval Office and ask the President of the United States questions. That's an invitation that is given. And there are hundreds of outlets on this campus, many of you in this room who don't have the privilege of being part of that pool every single day and getting to ask the President questions. We reserve the right to decide who gets to go into the Oval Office, and you all have credentials to be here, including the Associated Press, who is in this briefing room today.
Leavitt's communication style stands out because of its consistency. Each appearance reinforces a sense of preparation and control. Where one approach relied heavily on pre-written material, the other leans into responsiveness and adaptability. The difference becomes especially noticeable during unscripted moments, where quick thinking and clarity are essential.
The White House released a 6-page summary back in February. I don't think that was a full accounting necessarily. And Dr. O'Connor in that memo described the president as, quote, a healthy, active, robust 81-year-old male who remains fit to successfully execute the duties of the presidency. I think that is clearly not what the majority of Americans are seeing. And we have a new poll from CBS News that says 72% of registered voters say the president does not have the mental and cognitive health to serve as president. So are you saying that the majority of Americans are misguided and that they just need to trust Dr. O'Connor and take him at his word?
In contrast, when unexpected questions arise, Jean-Pierre's responses sometimes appear uncertain. The delivery can become fragmented and the message less focused. These moments highlight the challenge of maintaining clarity under pressure, especially in a fast-paced environment like a press briefing.
So a couple of things, and I want to say the president is feeling better, and you saw him last night, you saw him today, but he does indeed still have a cold. Look, I want to be very sensitive here, and I think it is important to be sensitive here. We understand how the American people are feeling. We get it. We do. And I do not want to take away from that. I'm not going to speak. I know that there was, you all did a poll, CNN did a poll. I'm not going to speak to every poll.
There were instances where data or polling information caught the briefing off guard, leading to incomplete answers or pauses. Without prepared context, the response lacked depth, which made it harder to address follow-up questions effectively. Meanwhile, a more proactive approach, anticipating likely questions, can help avoid these situations entirely.
To be clear, that $71 billion was from 2015 to 2022, so it wasn't in just 1 year, and it was
$71 billion.
But it wasn't in 1 year, just to be clear.
In one report.
And it was in one report over multiple years, from 2015 to 2022.
So are you defending $71 billion in fraud, Peter? That's a lot of money, far too much, and that's why this administration... Why is the media so against cutting waste, fraud, and abuse from the government? I don't get it.
I just want to ask a question.
We won't be deterred. We will not be deterred from people like you and the press who are clearly adamantly opposed to cutting waste, fraud, and abuse, but we know that American taxpayers at home who have been struggling with an inflationary crisis don't want their tax dollars going towards crazy DEI programs in countries overseas.
In one exchange, Levitt addressed a question involving financial figures and quickly clarified the timeline behind the numbers. When challenged, she didn't retreat. Instead, she reframed the discussion, shifting focus back to the broader issue. This ability to redirect while staying composed demonstrates a different communication strategy under pressure.
The president said he wants to...
Yeah, thank you. Can you direct traffic? Yeah, thanks.
Let's act like adults here. They are generously offering their time to answer your questions. You don't need to scream at them like a bunch of school children. Go ahead.
Thank you very much.
People who saw the clip couldn't stop praising the White House press secretary.
Moments like that highlight a key difference in approach. Rather than allowing a correction to derail the conversation, Levitt used it to strengthen her position and continue the discussion. It's a technique that emphasizes control and confidence, even when the topic becomes more complex.
So, what do you call it here at the White House when 10,000 people illegally cross the border in a single day?
So what do you call it, Peter, when GOP puts forth a wait, no, you can't.
Green?
I'm answering. Okay, we're gonna move
You're
on.
answering
No,
the question with the question? Okay.
no. We're moving on.
Green,
moving.
please.
In the back. Go ahead.
You said you were stopping the flow at the border.
No. I tried to answer, Peter. I
okay.
tried to answer the question. You stopped me. Let's go.
I'm going to say, actually, with the border, how many people coming into this country illegally is enough?
I know the numbers, but enough for what?
Enough just to stop the flow.
As I mentioned, this is a problem that's been around for some time now, for decades, a broken system.
Observers have noted her ability to manage the room effectively, maintaining order during briefings and setting clear expectations for how questions are handled. This level of control can change the tone of the entire exchange, making the process more structured and less chaotic.
He's been to the border, and since he took office...
When did he go to the border?
Since he took office, the President Biden has been taking action to fix our immigration system and secure our border. But, that we're not seeing that from Republicans. We're not seeing a willingness to work with us on fixing a situation that's been around for decades now.
She was almost smiling when she said it too, KJP. Ben Dominich joins me now. I mean, Ben, we know that Joe Biden hasn't been to the border. Why the bold-faced lie?
On the other hand, when exchanges become tense, managing multiple questions at once can be challenging. Interruptions, overlapping voices, and follow-ups can make it difficult to maintain a steady flow of communication, especially without a clear system in place.
Message for Americans who are concerned about the impact of things such as tariffs on prices.
I'm not going to stand up here and lie to you like my predecessor did about the state of our economy.
When we look at how strong the economy is, it's because of the president's work.
We understand there are people that are hurting. I can assure the American people that the president is very much focused on bringing down the cost of living crisis in this country that was created by the previous administration.
Handling those situations requires a balance between firmness and composure. When that balance isn't maintained, it can come across as avoidance rather than control, which affects how the message is received by both the press and the public.
Why is the president bragging today about gas prices?
Because it's gone down.
It's still $1.72 higher than when he took office.
It has come down in a way that we haven't seen its trajectory coming down in over a decade.
Still
and it is
$4 a gallon, though. Is that good?
You want to talk to a nurse or a teacher or a firefighter if having that little bit of breathing room doesn't matter to them?
Are nurses and teachers and firefighters saying gas prices are only $4.11?
I'm saying that.
There have also been moments where responses were later questioned or challenged, leading to further scrutiny. In high visibility roles like this, consistency and accuracy are critical, as even small discrepancies can quickly become major talking points.
I don't have anything. 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 I just don't have anything. I don't have anything. We don't have anything. I just don't have anything. Don't have anything. So I don't have anything. 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 I just don't have.
Leave It, by contrast, emphasizes transparency in her messaging, aiming to address concerns directly while acknowledging broader challenges. This approach focuses on clarity and reassurance rather than deflection.